AITA for going to my dad's funeral against his widow's wishes? So I'm the product of an affair. My dad's wife forgave him for getting my mom pregnant on the condition that she and their kids never have to see me or hear about me. And he couldn't see my mom. Even so, my dad was involved in my life right up until he died. And we were very close. After he died, I contacted some of his family members, not his wife or kids. I didn't want to upset them, to ask if it would be okay for me to go to the funeral. And I just didn't get any replies. I ended up deciding that since I've never met his wife or kids or most of his family, they wouldn't even recognize me, so I could just quietly be at the back and not bother anyone. Turns out his wife did recognize me. I don't know how. And she interrupted the service to drag me out of the building and yell at me for being there. And then when I tried to leave, she followed me to my mom's car to yell at her. Now I'm embarrassed and guilty that I upset her and caused drama at the funeral and dragged my mom into it. My mom says I didn't do anything wrong 'cause I couldn't have known my dad's wife would know what I look like. But I'm not sure if she's just trying to make me feel better. I just wanted to say bye to my dad. I wasn't trying to cause any trouble. AITA? If you are in the US, be aware that there is a Social Security survivor's benefit that you are eligible for until you are 18. I mention it because it seems like it is unlikely that your dad's wife will share that info. It's a government program meant to replace some of the support he gave. https://www.saw.gov/benefit/survivors/ifu.html/h4. NTA. He is still your dad, and that's an asshole move of her to kick you out of your own father's funeral. It's not your fault he cheated on his wife, resulting in you being born. It's even worse that she did that because you actually had a relationship with him. It doesn't matter that she is grieving. What she did was malicious and attention-seeking. She could have just let you sit in the back silently and ignored you, but she chose to cause a scene. NTA. You have as much right to say goodbye to your father as his other family members did. NTA. You weren't there to cause a scene. Just wanted to say goodbye to your father. I'm sorry for your loss and having to deal with that. She's an but I'm sure grief and seeing you really messed with her. She probably looked you up online, or if your dad had recent photos, I'm sure she found them. NTA. You have a right to be there. End of story. You were polite and quiet. And this woman just made herself look awful in front of all her friends and family. Sorry for your loss. NTA. She is delusional. She decided to forgive him under the condition that she could pretend you never existed to uphold a fake life. She shouldn't know what you look like if you've never had contact with them. She ruined the funeral by dragging you out and making a scene when your dad is the one who hurt her by cheating in the first place. You have a right to be there, and she was disrespectful and disgusting. NTA. Sounds like your dad's wife focused her anger at your dad onto you. None of what happened is your fault, and you have a right to grieve your father as much as she does. You had every right to be there. She's 100% wrong. NTA. And consult a lawyer. If you were left out of the will, you have a right to sue, as there is a reasonable expectation as his child you would be included. NTA. But your dad's wife sure is. She is blaming you for something her husband did. She never really forgave him. She just decided to take it out on you and your mom. I'm sorry you couldn't say goodbye properly. She did not have Tuesday right to take that away from you. NTA. You did not ask to be born. And it is highly inappropriate for your father's wife to treat you like s. He should never have agreed to such a stupid arrangement. I'd never understand families where an affair baby is treated like a f pariah. It's not the kid's fault. It's the dad's fault for not keeping his f dick in his pants. You deserve to be at his funeral like all of his other children. The fact that his wife is awful is not your fault. Edited. Typos. NTA. You didn't stir any drama. She did. I doubt anyone would have even realized who you were if she hadn't said anything. You have the right to say goodbye to your father. NTA. Your dad's wife's deal was with him. And possibly your mom. Not with you. You can't be bound by it. On top of that, you tried to reach out and ask first, but were ignored. And you had no reason to suspect she knew what you looked like. I can't see how to answer with anything but NTA. Definitely NTA. You are not the one who cheated, and I think your dad's wife is horrible for making a scene and denying you your right to say goodbye to your dad. I am so sorry for your loss and want to assure you again that you did nothing wrong. NTA. If it wasn't a private event and you were allowed to be there, I would have told her to fuck off and stayed anyway. She was being an embarrassment. By the way she acted, I am 95% confident she would have been kicked out if you just sat there and didn't respond. NTA. Grieving widow or not, that was your dad and you were allowed to say goodbye. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. Losing a parent is incredibly difficult regardless of the relationship. Secondly, that woman is a monster and you are NTA. NTA. I can understand why the wife was upset because she felt betrayed. However, you are not to blame for that. And you had every right to say goodbye to your father. This may have been a bit of a shock to his children. Do your half-siblings even know you exist? Not to mention, you have a claim on the estate. Depending on where you live and whether there was a will, you may be entitled to part of an inheritance. Check with your local legal office just to see if a will was filed. Do not let a bitter and jaded wife keep you from what your father left for you. Your dad's wife in the awe. You had the right to attend the funeral of your father, and if she had not made a scene, no one would have known who you were. I don't know the inheritance laws where you live, but you might check to make sure you are not legally due part of his estate. If you were interested, I understand your desire to fly under the radar and not cause more pain for your dad's family. But you should get what you deserve from his estate. Don't let them bully you into the shadows. Absolutely NTA. You are not the one who caused drama. His wife was. You were saying goodbye to your dad. I can understand his widow being upset. But you were the product of an affair. You didn't cause the affair. You did nothing wrong. There is no reason she couldn't have just let you sit quietly to pay your last respects. NTA. You have every right to say goodbye to your dad. I'm very sorry for your loss.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.